one of my best friends who actually passed away a few years ago, that was one of his big things was he was just so selfless. And he found a lot of fulfillment in that. And it's something I'd like to incorporate into my life a little bit more, service. And when I do, I feel so much more fulfillment helping someone with something than doing something for myself. And there's this one study once of like, you feel maybe it's 10 times more satisfied spending a certain amount of money on someone else than on yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, like I want to selfishly be selfless.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we have a special guest, Seth Anderson, who is over construction at Dirty Dough, and it is an honor to have him. Head of construction.
Thank you, Bennett.
And then we got Bennett Maxwell, who happens to co-host this podcast together, and we didn't want to forget about him. But we are welcome to have you on the podcast and get to know your story a little bit more.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Super excited. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your story and how you
including the watch.
Yeah, including the watch and how you found yourself to Dirty Dough.
Sure. So I'm Seth Anderson. I'm from Bountiful, Utah. How did I get to Dirty Dough? That's a good question. So my background is in sales, and I had sold with a previous co-owner of Dirty Dough, Wade.
Shout out to Wade Rasmussen.
Sure like Wade. But yeah, he gave me a good opportunity here, and I've been here for a year now. Can you believe that? A year as of last week.
And what's your brother's name?
Adam.
And I've met Adam.
Yeah. Adam I think he had looked into Dirty Dough way early on when you were just starting to look into it with you.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago we went to that startup ignition course together.
And then you guys went down to Arizona, tried the cookies. He brought some home.
Okay.
I actually tried Dirty Dough for the first time in like 2020, maybe. Okay. And I was sold. I liked it then and didn't think I would be getting involved, but here I am. It's been a lot of fun.
Is that when you bought the company, 2020?
It was January of 2021, but we were already, I don't know, maybe it was 2021. Maybe you're lying.
I might be lying. No, it was sometime a few years ago. Joking. I don't even remember.
No, I didn't know that Adam went down there. I don't know if I went down there with him.
I think he went down with Wade.
Yeah.
And cool. Brought home some cookies and they were delicious. I love Dirty Dough cookies. Thanks. That's why I'm here is the cookies. Passionate about cookies.
All right. What about the watch? It's kind of girly.
Oh, I don't know if it's a little girly. My pink one is a little girly. Yeah, so I have the Casio F91W. It's a collection I have. I've just been wearing these for like 7 years. They're very comfortable, very sleek, great features. They tell the time. They have an alarm. You can go 24-hour time. It's very advanced.
How do you use it? Do you have alarms on it and everything?
I have one alarm. Weirdly, I have an alarm that goes off at 9:00 p.m. every night. And I say 9 o'clock already. And I've said that every day for the last 7 years. Kind of a weird tradition. I just started. I started one day. I accidentally set an alarm.
Bedtime or just 9 o'clock?
So I set an alarm accidentally when I first got like this watch like 7 years ago. And then it went off and I'm like, I don't even know how to change that. Then the next day it went off and I'm like, 9 o'clock already? Like a whole day has passed. And then I just kept saying it. And now I've just said it every day, and it's a habit.
Every day.
Every day. Ask anyone that's ever been with me at 9 o'clock. I just say 9 o'clock already, and it's a weird little thing of mine.
You should do a dance with it now.
We do need to incorporate a dance. When I was in Brazil, I would say "Já são 9 horas." You know, just had to keep it. That's 9 o'clock already in Portuguese.
I forgot you speak Portuguese because like half of our production team is Portuguese,
which is really nice.
Or 90% maybe. Maybe
it's quite a bit. 100%, yeah, Spanish or Portuguese. So it's a lot of fun to converse with them.
Oh yeah, they're freaking. And then, anyways, I just met some more people today that speak Spanish.
Oh yeah.
Well, who's working with Salvador? I forgot her name.
Jonathan.
Nope, girl.
I don't remember.
She just started, I think, today. Met her today.
But between us, we can communicate English, Spanish, Portuguese, everyone.
We got it.
There you go.
Let's jump on into success, fulfillment, whatever. Anyways, well, what was your last job before this? You were doing some door-to-door. Or is that just
door-to-door. Right before this, I'd done a few years of door-to-door.
Pest control.
Yeah, pest control.
Okay. Any other jobs?
That's pretty much it. I only graduated in 2022, technically, from college.
Okay.
So pretty much did door-to-door throughout college.
So now kind of with that background, join fulfillment as it relates to the workplace and kind of how it relates to what you're doing now, door-to-door. what you're liking,
just
what you're not liking.
fulfillment in general.
Yeah.
Can this be a complaint session about Dirty Dough?
Yeah, I can.
Just kidding.
Bring it on.
No, Dirty Dough's been a lot of fun to help like build out the system, build out the process, build the culture. It's been a lot of fun to kind of take part in that and see, honestly, some of the ins and outs of
So
of
when
a
you
company.
came on a year ago, though, just to kind of, we had no franchises open.
We
You
had
were
just
coming on-
opened Vineyard, the first store.
Yeah, I was going to say Vineyard
Yeah.
opened 13 months ago. So
Yeah.
that was the first store. So you've seen it. You've seen all the roller coasters.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of situations to deal with and a lot to learn. And as far as fulfillment goes, that's honestly, I think, come in just trying my best and dealing with different situations and learning how to deal with situations and improving things as we go. It's really fulfilling to like have a crazy situation. Like a year ago, a situation comes up and it's like the biggest deal, and we have to work as a team to fix it or whatever. And now it's like I deal with that situation 5 times a day, or we put a process in place that fixes it before it's a problem.
Yeah, I would say in startups, maybe your joy is a little bit less, but your fulfillment's a lot higher. I mean, thinking you've opened up 29 stores or 28 stores, let's call it, because Vineyard was already open in a year. Which how many other startups have done that, right? And the construction side. So I always tell people like, oh, you've sold so many franchises. Like selling franchises is cool.
Yeah.
And it's hard work, but opening them is way harder. And that process to open them up in a timely manner. And I don't know, our PR company's still researching this for us, but I think we're on track, if not already there, in fastest growing retail franchises measured in units open from the time of franchising.
Wow.
Because we're 19 months into franchising. We have 29 stores open. We're opening another 50 by the end of the year, just according to leases already signed.
Yeah.
And that's you, man.
Hey.
So I'm sure that wasn't joyful, but that's got to be pretty fulfilling.
It is fun to support the franchisees and getting their business open as soon as possible. And, creating relationships with vendors, helping them find real estate agents, find general contractors, figuring out what we're doing with interior design, what can we do here, what can we do there. But I'm proud of where we're at. It's more complex than I think we ever thought it would be just to open any business. But luckily we now, and early on, we learned what it takes to open a business, how to optimize all those steps. And we have those steps very clearly, under control for our franchisees to know what they need to do at any given juncture.
Okay. I like it. So fulfillment, seeing the progress.
Seeing progress.
And also helping, I heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Help. That's really what I think drives a lot of the ops team is helping these people, a wide range of people from all over, open a business. Like that's fulfilling.
Yeah,
Describe your favorite franchisee.
Describe or name.
We don't need names.
I want a name.
What is the best
Bailey Maxwell.
franchisee
Bailey's great.
look like? What do they look like to you?
Physically, I'm just kidding. No, the best franchisees are the ones that follow the system, are communicative with us, and understand that things change, and we have always been a work in progress. That we're not, we're not Domino's, we're not Dairy Queen yet. We'll get there, but things are always a little bit in flux, and they're willing to work with us.
Makes sense.
All right, that's joy and fulfillment kind of in the workplace. What about outside of it? Hobbies, family, dating.
Yeah. If anyone out there knows anyone, just kidding. That's why I came on, is to pitch myself. No, I love, I like golfing whenever I can. I'm golfing every weekend. Kind of suck a little bit, but I'm in a little golf progression plan of mine to get better.
What is it? Let's break down the golfing. What is it about the golfing?
What is it about golfing? First of all, I think it's a really good way to connect with like my brothers and my buddies. I think men, we connect with each other a little bit better when we're like doing something, when we have a direct purpose, or I can watch a football game with my friends. I don't really love just being like one-on-one at dinner with them. That's a little more, I don't know, to do with girls or something. But with men, I can connect when we're golfing or watching something, and we have a purpose, but we can still chat for 4 hours and get to know each other. So it's also calming, I think.
The social side rather than I need to compete and beat my friend.
Well, I'm very competitive, and I can get pretty angry when it's one of those off days. A club? Oh yeah. Not
I want to see that.
pretty recently. And then the walk of shame
happen.
into the forest to get your 9 iron, man. It's not a great look.
Okay, we need to make this happen and get it on video.
I'm sure we can. Just come golfing with me next time, and
Okay.
odds are it might happen.
Okay.
But no, I love to golf. I love fantasy football. Too into fantasy football, but
I like it. I don't even, I mean, you know, my opinion on sports, I don't even know who's who, but
yeah, it's a group from high school that
You have to look up who Patrick Mahomes was.
no, I knew Patrick Mahomes. I just didn't know Devin Booker or
I just had to tell you like Tony
else.
Finau and Jalen Hurts and
Jalen Hurts. I didn't know any of those guys.
Okay.
but,
Peyton Manning, I know him.
Yeah,
You know,
You know somebody.
I know some people. Michael Jordan.
but our fantasy group, we increase our buy-in by like $50 every year. We're up to like $350 buy-in. There's like
That's a
weekly
big pot,
payouts.
man.
There's a weekly newsletter. Take it very seriously.
I like that.
It's a lot of fun.
I got a question on. You mentioned progression on your golf game.
Yeah.
What does that mean, and how do you incorporate that into things you do in life? Give us the sauce.
Good question.
Secrets.
I don't know if I have secrets. I don't know if I'm a student, but I think in life you have to have goals. You have to have some aim. And honestly, for me, I've been realizing like only big goals really motivate me. If I'm just doing something like half-heartedly or whatever, I like don't care enough to even do it sometimes, or I give a half-hearted effort and then I'm just like bleh, just kind of, I don't know, stagnant. But if I have like a big goal of like, I don't know, I'm going to read this book today rather than in the next 2 months, or I want to be a 10 handicap, which is twice as good as I am right now or something. That's what motivates me to get me out the door and take action.
I like that. The HAGS, hairy, audacious goals. Then we heard that.
Hags.
Maybe Stephen Covey.
But I don't always do this, but a big belief of mine just philosophically is like always strive for constant and never ending improvement. That's what I don't know, gets you through the day, gives you a purpose in life. I could be, doing, even if the days are mundane or similar or whatever, as long as I'm like making little adjustments or making improvements or trying to strive towards something better, that's what, gives motivation.
I think we get distracted and we forget that because it's once I get X, Y, Z, then I'm going to feel a certain way. But it's like, no, you're going to hit it and then you're going to get bored with it. You're going to get stagnant and you're not going to be happy, because really to be happy constantly, you have to have that progression. And then that's when it's like, okay, well, so you're telling me that no matter what goal I reach, I'm not ever going to be as happy as I think. And I'm like, yeah, I think so. Unless you change your happiness and rather than hitting the 10 handicap, because once you hit it, you're going to be happy for a day or two or for a week or two, and that dopamine's going to leave. And then you're like, well, now I want a 5. Now I want a par, or I don't know freaking terminology. So to recognize that and like, no, it is about the progression. So how do you enjoy the progression rather than dread the progression?
Yeah, I guess it is in the progression that you have to find the fulfillment.
Yeah.
I think you've all done that of like, I don't know, when I was growing up, like I'd work a whole summer to save up for my first iPhone or whatever. And then you get your iPhone and it's like, is this the peak? Like, is this,
that's a dopamine
is this
hit.
the dopamine? Like I worked all that for this? I don't know. And what do you guys think? Away. How do you find like fulfillment or a reward in the progression toward a goal? Because I don't know if that's something I'd like to learn.
I mean, for me, it's what is the end goal, and then trying to build that into your day to day. So like my end goal is the mission statement. How do I find more joy and fulfillment in myself and others? But it's despite life's dirtiness, it has to be had right now. So how am I achieving that goal? There's 2 pillars: the mental health pillar and there's the entrepreneurship pillar. So how do you promote mental health, educate people through mental health, and how do you promote empowerment through entrepreneurship? Well, that's what I'm doing every day. Helping sell franchises and open franchises and empower people through entrepreneurship. And every Dirty Dough we open has however many, dozens or hundreds of customers per day that see our packaging and see the design. And then on top of that, kind of now we're going back and funding the mental health wellness centers. And Pleasant Grove Junior High is opening next month. First one.
It is.
That's awesome.
That was the first one we funded. So that's, for me, was kind of thinking to the end. And I think that's a fun activity for anybody to do is, what would you do if you were retired and you had all the money in the world? What would you do every single day? And then just, can you do that today? Or do you have to wait till you're 65? And then, anyways, that's how it gets me through the day. Rather than, awesome. I want to freaking quit. I hate life. This business is stupid. It's too stressful.
It's not stressful.
That's how I manage it. It's like, okay, well, if I quit, what would I do? I would probably spend all my time talking about or trying to promote joy fulfillment through mental health and entrepreneurship. I'm like, oh, freak, I'm already doing that.
Can I do that today?
Yeah, can I do that today?
Dang,
yes, I can
like
do that. I just have to choose to do it. I just have to, I mean, I'm already doing it. It's just I forget that I'm doing it.
That's awesome. And so there may not be like an end goal of like, I don't know, 100 centers will open or whatever, but
yeah, there's that.
But every step on the way there is like, this is a win.
I just know that when I hit and it's 1,000 stores and 1,000 wellness centers in 5 years, I just know that I'm not waiting till I hit that to be like, oh, I could relax now. Because I'm not going to relax when I hit it. I've already been through that. I've already set the big goals. I've already hit them. And you don't relax afterwards. You just set the next one and it's bigger and more stressful. So it's kind of managing that stress. What was that?
The stress never ends.
Stress never ends.
And despite the stress and and how hard it can be, I'm sure you have to make a conscious, proactive effort to like appreciate what we've done and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we have to do that all the time because we're just fighting fires all day and this pops up and that pops up. And then occasionally a franchisee will be like, hey, really appreciate your help here. Like you guys are doing great. And it's like, oh yeah, like we are, I guess. Like it's not all just craziness and like this works. This is good.
I mean, rewind a year ago to where you're at now and what you've accomplished and think if you ever thought that was even possible. So doing that and kind of going back in time and like, wait, I'm like, that's amazing what I'm doing right now. You know, it's more than what I thought.
Yeah.
And taking those little times to have those little reminders. So for me, it's podcast and meditation. And in the meditation app that I listen to, he always gives me a lot of those.
Which app do you use?
Waking Up. Or another one, I know we talked about this a week or two ago, but pause anytime that you're super stressed or pissed or whatever. And then you think there's at least 1 billion people in the world that would consider their prayers answered if they had my life. And it's like, let that settle in.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I had this thought again today, and this was from something else, but laying on my bed, I had like 20 minutes of kind of free time. So I lay on my bed, I'm just breathing, deep breaths in and out. And I'm like, man, this bed is soft. And I'm like, this is a softer bed than the freaking Pharaoh of Egypt had, which is totally true. And I'm like, man, I need to be grateful for that. Like I have a nicer bed than the richest person 500 years ago had.
Perspective.
So yeah, so it's just those little reminders. I'm like, okay, I need to enjoy this bed.
Yeah, I like that. That's awesome.
But it's listening to apps or podcasts around this subject that I gain these little insights from, and then I'll use them, and then I'll forget them, and then I listen to it again, and then I use them again. Yeah. But waking up is an amazing.
I'll download that. I like that. And yeah, and like I think with any goal, I hope in a year from now to be a lot better than I am right now and whatever. But if I just think of it as like a big chunk of like, I don't know, I'm not in amazing shape right now. I'm getting better. But if I were to say like, I'm going to run a marathon in 1 year or whatever, like that seems like insurmountable. But if I'm like, oh, I need to go to the gym this amount of times, I need to do this, and this, and just break it down on a micro level with anything, I think that makes it doable. Yeah.
And that's also getting rid of stress, anxiety, depression. If you can live in the exact moment at any time, so not even tomorrow, I'm going to go to the gym, but it's just like, what am I doing right now? Because I've been studying some Buddhism stuff. Dalton, we need to talk some Buddhist philosophy.
Guess we...
Like this morning, and it was like, when you eat, when you drive, when you lay down. But the whole point is, if you're focusing on the present moment, you're not worried about what you're doing tomorrow. You're not worried about what you did yesterday. And yesterday is typically like, oh, I'm mad at myself, or I didn't do enough. And that's where the depression can come in, or the negative thoughts, or the sadness. And then in the future, that's where the stress and anxiety is, focusing on the future. So if it's just like, I just need to focus on today, right now, and that's it. I'm not going to the stores, because I hate when stores get delayed. That's my metric.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir.
I just wait for Catherine's email. They'll be like, I'm like, how many stores do we have? How many leases do we have signed? Those, but I'm like, nope, they're just going to freaking open when they open. And that's freaking hard to do because you want to support them and you want to keep pushing it. But it's like, there's so many things that it just happens when it happens, and it'll happen.
And another mental health philosophy of mine is just, it's almost like too simple or cliche, but just control the controllables.
That's all you can do.
All you can do. And so why would I care if when I do all I can and put myself in the best position possible, why would I care what anyone thinks of me or what's going to happen? Because I did my best.
Yeah.
Well, do you believe in free will or?
Yeah.
We're not getting into that. Dalton, I appreciate that.
Have you guys gotten into free will pretty deeply before?
I'm a free will denier.
It's just a small topic of conversation. Just wanted to know your response to it.
I believe in free will. Yes.
We'll talk after. I'll get you on my side.
I decided to do this podcast.
So how do you proactively, like all this stuff is great, but how do you proactively incorporate this? Do you check in with yourself? Like, do you intentionally meditate? Like, how do you keep yourself honest?
I journal. I journal every day. I've journaled every day for years, few years at this point. It's so good for my mental health. Just when I'm dealing with something stressful or something is bothering me or had a bad interaction with this person or said the wrong thing here or whatever, it's all just like swirling around in my head. But if I can just like write it out, and as painful it is to like write out like exactly what happened and what went wrong, or this is the situation, and then I can like see it visually, it's more tangible. I can think it through so much more clearly rather than just like thought here, thought there. It's all sporadic and jumbled up. Yeah.
That's awesome. I thought, man, if I could do that, I would have the best social media content. You're already writing it, man. Just put it in a post, and there you go. You got your personal brand, man.
And my one rule,
that's a good one,
for journaling is, first of all, I have to do it, even if it's just a sentence or whatever. But I do have like a structure of like, I write what happened today, what's going on tomorrow. This is what I'm thinking about. This is what I listened to or read, and this is 3 things I'm grateful for.
All right, repeat those.
This is what happened today.
Okay.
This is what's happening tomorrow. This is what I'm thinking about. This is what I listened to or read. And this is what I'm grateful for.
I hear journaling. There's no way I can do that. Those 5 steps, I can do that.
Right. Like even one thing for each of them or whatever. Yeah. And I tried journaling on paper and it never worked. And I tried this and that and audio and whatever, but I just found a process that works for me, which is just on the Notes app on my laptop. Take 5 minutes or as long as it takes and just do it.
That's awesome. And then that's also like a really cool, because I've always been like, man, I wish I journaled for myself in the future going back, or kids,
Yeah, for sure.
Building that.
Well, and my other rule is that I expect no one to ever read this except for myself. Because I just get like so vulnerable with myself, or like, put stuff that I would never tell anyone. And like, I talk crap on people and I hope they never see this. And so the rule is they will never see this.
This is the Mean Girl book.
So I am just so open.
Have you seen Mean Girls?
Not a lot of it, no.
Oh my. They have a book that they just talk crap on everybody.
Oh, really?
And then it gets out and it destroys the whole school.
Well, don't look in the journal folder in my Notes app if you're ever on my computer. I don't think there's anything bad about you guys. Only good things.
I don't think.
If you ever made it, I don't even know.
If we even made the book.
You'll make it tonight. I'll talk about this for sure.
I like it. What do you do anything focusing on others, helping them have more joy, fulfillment, success? What are those things that you think you are doing or maybe aren't doing but would like to do?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's something I would like to do. Good buddy of mine one of my best friends who actually passed away a few years ago, that was one of his big things was he was just so selfless. And and he found a lot of fulfillment in that. And whenever it's something I'd like to incorporate into my life a little bit more, service. And when I do, I feel so much more fulfillment helping someone with something than doing something for myself. And there's this one study once of like, you feel maybe it's 10 times more satisfied spending a certain amount of money on someone else than on yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, like I want to selfishly be selfless.
Yes. I mean, if I hand you $50, I think this was one of the studies that I saw. And then they measured their happiness levels after, but they gifted them the money and they told half the group to go spend it on themselves, and they told half the group to go give it to someone else.
I think,
and the ones that gave it to somebody else reported significantly higher happiness levels.
Dang.
So it's like, wait, what? So you're telling me if I give this away, it's gonna be better for me, and then obviously it's gonna be better for the person I gave it to that would have otherwise not received anything. It's like that's a win-win. So yeah, selfishly give.
Right. But it just feels good. And I'm kind of at a point in my life. I'm not too far. I'm kind of in the college phase of my life, honestly. Like, and a lot of this time is kind of naturally selfish. Of like, these are my classes. This is what's going on with me. This is my dating life or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so you have to really like make an effort to look outward. And I do try, and that's a more long-term goal of mine to like really make that part of my lifestyle of reaching out and helping. And at least when I have the opportunity to, take it.
I like it. Last question.
How do you want to be remembered in this lifetime?
Whoa. Head of construction at Dirty Dough.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Can we get this guy a plaque for his 1 year mark? Like, what are you doing with your life, Ben? Get this dude a plaque.
No, I hope that can, I don't know, maybe.
Like employee of the year too.
I think you have to kind of grapple with I'm going to die. The world's going to move on. That's kind of weird. So I guess I hope I at least make a positive impact on people and the world and live positively and I don't know, hold on to or hold my values as well. I don't want to be someone that just like, I don't know, did something crappy and that's what they're remembered as of like screwed someone over with this. Like I might as well have a positive legacy and be remembered positively because I'm going to be remembered somehow and I'm going to die. Yeah. And so I think just trying to be remembered as a positive person. Yeah. And probably helping others goes along with that. Trying to be selfless and also do cool things. I want to be known for someone who did cool things.
I like that.
It's cooler to do cool things than to not do cool things.
I agree.
I'm right there.
I agree with that coolness factor. How do people connect with you, Seth? Social media?
Oh, very little social media, but at Seth_Norm on Instagram.
All right. _Norm.
Okay. Yep, my middle name is Norman.
That's a good.
Quite a few people know me as Norman, actually.
Should we call you that?
Norm, Seth. A few people call me Binky. It's kind of a high school
Binky,
nickname.
Dude.
Binky. I like
any of those. I like them.
Coming on the podcast, man. That's a good one.
Dude,
absolutely.
Your nails are like the best nails I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you. No, they're naturally pretty white rather than translucent. I think it's a calcium thing. Working on it.
You have not enough calcium or too much?
I don't think I have enough.
All right.
I've had a few.
Drink some milk, dude. Got milk.
Maybe I do. Maybe I need vitamins or something. But
all right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.